Welcome back to Preps Today with John Millea. John Millea is the star of the show, of course. You can find his written words at MSHSL.org. Obviously, we're thrilled to have him on this network as well. We're coming to you from the Aquarius Home Services studio. I want to thank our longtime sponsors, Pizza Barn in Princeton, run by Jody Stay. Great human being, does great work, serves great food to a lot of great people up there. Check it out if you ever get the chance. It's not that far out of the metro. Also want to thank my friend Scott Dayton, who runs Twill by Scott Dayton in the Edina Galleria. He's been with me for a long time. He's always been good to me, and he's the rare person who has found clothes that actually make me look not too bad. I appreciate that. It is March 5th. 2024. I'm about to take off on a high school trip as a chaperone for a band that's going to tour Europe. I'm very lucky to be doing that. Today, we're going to talk to John about a few things happening around Minnesota in the prep sports and activity realm. Let's get to it. Wrestling really rules.
Yeah, Jim, you're right. We had our incredible state wrestling tournament over the weekend in St. Paul. It's a 3-day tournament. We had almost 60,000 tickets sold in a 3-day tournament. I mean, that building doesn't hold 20,000, but it's 6 sessions and it's just rocking in there. It's so much fun. Unbelievable number of storylines. I focused on 2 very different wrestlers. The first is Kaylee Grabble. She's a sophomore from Northfield. She made some history this year. She was the 3rd female wrestler to make it to state competing against boys. And this year, she became the first female to win a match against boys. In fact, she won her first 2 matches. Her goal was to get on the podium, and she did. She reached the quarterfinals in Class 3A at 107 pounds, ended up finishing 5th. She won 3 matches, lost 2. That's phenomenal. And there's been some confusion. I posted the story about Callie on the MSHSL Facebook page. People are confused by seeing females and boys wrestle together when there are brackets exclusively for females, which is true. We've been doing that for 3 years now. But females are allowed to try out for any boys team in any sport. That's just the way it's been forever. And we have I think we have close to maybe 200 girls playing football each year. Callie was a girls state champion last year, and this year she wanted better competition. She has big dreams, big goals. She'd like to be an Olympian. She dreams of being a world champion. So she decided she was only going to compete against boys this year. She's a great wrestler. And when I was talking to her, I also found out she's pretty good at another sport. She's gone to state in cross country 3 times. So this is an athletic young lady. The other wrestler I wrote about this one's really interesting. This is a new one on me. It was a Bloomington Kennedy senior named Tommaso Costantino, and if you think he's from Italy, you are correct. He's a foreign exchange student, came over from Bloomington Kennedy for his senior year, had never wrestled before. He went out for wrestling, went to state with a record of 15-14. He didn't last long at state, but he made it to state at 189 pounds, despite weighing a little over 170. He also had never played American football. He was a rugby player back in Italy. He told me he played rugby for 11 years, never played football, but he went out for football at Kennedy last fall. And by the middle of the season, he was a starting linebacker. That's how good of an athlete Tommaso Costantino is. Just really fun talking to him and Callie. And you can find stories about both of those kids at MSHSL.org and John's Journal. A few other wrestling notes. We had one wrestler made history by becoming a 4-time state champ, which is pretty rare. Nolan Ambrose of Jackson County Central won a 1A title at 145 pounds. And in the girls division, 2 wrestlers won their 3rd state title. So congrats to Hastings senior Skylar Little Soldier and Simley 9th grader Charlie Raymond. Charlie's on track to win 6 championships. There's 1 male wrestler has done that. That was the great Mark Hall of Apple Valley. He won his 6th title in 2016. The team champions in each class were Chatfield, Simley, and St. Michael Albertville. Congrats to them. One thing that was new last year, and it's really slick, Jim, is when a wrestler advances to a state championship match, he gets, I think it's 4 tickets for family members who can sit in the front row instead of being, all the way up in the seats. They're in the front row. They're right close to the mats. They're about 20 feet away. And I sat next to some of these folks while their sons and daughters were wrestling. And man, they were fired up. One dad apologized to me in the middle of the match for yelling so loudly for his son. I just said, hey, you're doing your job. And it was really something. I didn't plan this, but because I was sitting so close to these families, I posted a couple of videos on Twitter of these wrestlers coming over to hug their moms and dads, grandpa and grandma. It was just really cool to be right there in the middle of that. If you go to MSHSL John on Twitter, you can find those. You will really enjoy that. That was not planned at all, but it just happened to be, I happened to be sitting in the right place at the right time. So that was pretty cool. And then over at the University of Minnesota over the weekend, we had our boys swimming and diving state championships. Let's congratulate the team champions, Blake Breck in Class 1A, Edina in 2A, and all the individual winners and participants. It was a great weekend for wrestling, swimming, and diving.
Excellent stuff. Listen, there are a certain number of people who will complain about anything, and we usually hear from them because we're all so interconnected via media and the internet. Do you sense that there's any real backlash to girls wrestling with boys, or is it just a few cranks?
No, it's a few cranks. It's just silly. It's people. I'm monitoring. It has slowed down. It's been a few days since I posted that story, and I monitor those comments pretty closely, and I've deleted a few. And if you get on there and you start dropping obscenities, not only is your post going to be deleted, you're going to be blocked from ever seeing that Facebook page again. I've done that a couple times. I don't know what gets people so excited. It's the keyboard warrior mentality. I'm smarter than everybody else, and this is what I think, and you're all wrong. But mostly it's people on both of these stories. They're both posted on the MSHSL Facebook page. Far and away, the most comments are congratulations to Callie. Way to go, Tommaso. This is really cool. People are excited to read these kinds of stories. And so I don't want to let the negative Nellies, run away with this. They're there. We know they're going to be there. Social media makes it easy. It used to be you had to sit in the bar or sit in the cafe and whine about things. Now you can post it, and then some schlub like me has to make sure you're acting responsibly on our Facebook page. And I don't mind that. That comes with the territory. But yeah, just great kids, great stories. It's remarkable. I always tell people I'll never, ever run out of stories to tell. And this is just another example.
Excellent stuff. We're going to get to boys hockey preview. We're going to tell you who John's most valuable teammate of the week is. Right now, we do want to remind you we're coming to you from the Aquarius Home Services studio, and we want to hear more about Pizza Barn in Princeton.
Yeah, as always, great things going on up there, Jim. It's finally March, so the Pizza Barn has brought back their classic Reuben pizza as the pizza of the month. It's fantastic. They start with their house-made crust, Thousand Island dressing, corned beef that's cooked in their pizza ovens for 5 to 6 hours. I like the sound of that. Sauerkraut, Swiss and mozzarella, black pepper. It's available for dine-in, take and bake, delivery all month long, and the appetizer of the month for March, which goes well with the Reuben pizza. It's waffle fries and seasoned sour cream. And Chef Shorty at the Pizza Barn makes that great seasoned sour cream in-house. And as I mentioned last week, in food truck news, one of those big Pizza Barn food trucks will be rolling over to the Outlaw Music Festival in Somerset, Wisconsin on September 6th. Appearing at the festival will be the likes of Willie Nelson, John Mellencamp, and Bob Dylan, among others. That's outstanding that the Pizza Barn's going to be serving that great pizza there. Way to go. And thanks to our friend, as you said, Jim, Jody Stay, and the whole crew at the Pizza Barn in downtown Princeton.
Yes, thank you, Jody. Thanks again to my friend Scott Dayton, Twill in the Edina Galleria. Highly recommend if you want men's clothing, if you want to high quality stuff, if you want to buy a gift for somebody, it's perfect. The staff is a knowledgeable veteran staff. Scott's in there all the time. He loves talking sports. He'll treat you right. Tell him we sent you. I do appreciate that. Also, a reminder, if you like this show, please subscribe to it at your favorite podcast app. It's free. It's the easiest way to listen. And go to talknorth.com. If you like the show, you're going to like all of our other shows. We cover all the sports. We have outdoor content, variety content. And again, any show you like, please subscribe. and we do appreciate it. You've really made the network a success, and we appreciate all of our listeners. Let's get to boys hockey preview.
Yeah, this is the week. This is the big week for boys hockey here in Minnesota Gym. We're back at the XL Center Wednesday through Saturday. It's always a gas over there. There were some surprises in section boys hockey tournaments. So both of these classes, 1A and 2A, should be really entertaining and fun to watch. The number one seeds, they're not surprises. In Hermantown in 1A, Edina in 2A, we know all about those teams. And this is the only Minnesota high school state tournament that's televised from the quarterfinals through the semis and championship games on Channel 45. It's going to be great fun. And then we have another state tournament this week, the adapted floor hockey tournament. It'll be held Friday and Saturday at Coon Rapids High School. And here in Minnesota, we're really proud of our programs for adapted athletes. And these kids have the opportunity to go to state. And they enjoy basically the same tournament experience that these boys hockey teams do. I mean, it's great competition. There's a lot of people who attend. The awards, the trophies, the medals, exactly the same as the boys hockey players will get. The board members from the high school league will present those in the exact same, post-game ceremonies. That's really going to be, really going to be special. So good luck to all those adapted floor hockey teams. Now, this is something new for me this year. I'm going to miss the first day of the boys state hockey tournament because I'm going to be at Jordan High School on Wednesday attending a large group band contest. The high school league is not just sports. We sponsor lots of arts activities, including choir and band. And I have never attended one of these competitions other than when my kids were involved many years ago. So I'm going to spend most of the day Wednesday at Jordan. The bands involved, they'll come from Jordan, Belle Plaine, LeSueur, Henderson, Sibley East, Cleveland, Glencoe, Silver Lake, St. Peter, Central, and Tri-City United. I'm kind of looking forward to this. I may write something about this. I've talked to Peter Jepson. He's the band director at Glencoe, Silver Lake. He's been inviting me to this event for several years, and I just decided, by golly, I'm going to go do this. This is a high school league activity. I'm going to experience this and see what we can come away with. And looking forward to that. And then Thursday, I will start my hockey experience.
Fantastic stuff. I'll be spending a week with band kids, and I can't wait. Yeah. I love band kids. All right, let's get to this week's most valuable teammate.
Yeah, this week we're honoring Cohen Ryland. He's a senior from Brandon, Evansville, one of these busy kids. He's in cross country. He's in basketball. He's in track and field. He's the National Honor Society president and an all-around fantastic young man. He always puts his teammates first. He's someone who's first to serve, last to be served. Cohen understands the concept that all players have an important role. He's a team player, and he's someone younger players look up to as a role model, not just as an athlete, but because of how he conducts himself. Congratulations to Cohen Ryland of Brandon, Evansville on being a most valuable teammate.
Yes, and usually we have a segment called Thank a Ref. We don't have a specific ref to thank this week, so we're just going to thank all refs.
You bet.
For making these games possible, for putting up whatever abuse they have to put up with, for being willing to get out in the community and put themselves on the line in that way. We appreciate all of you.
We sure do. And another really cool thing about the state wrestling tournament, before each session, every official who's going to work that session, they are introduced individually, one at a time, and they come out on the mat and everybody applauds. It's really cool how wrestling people treat officials. Yeah, people are barking at them sometimes, but the officials are great. They love it. I know a lot of wrestling officials. It's neat to see them working on the big show. And we've tweeted out photos of all the officials who worked championship, team, and individual matches at wrestling. We generally do that for every state tournament. I'm sure we'll do that at boys hockey this week. And we can't thank those folks enough for everything they do.
Great stuff. Thank you, John, for all the good stuff as always. We'll be talking soon. Thanks to everyone who listens to TalkNorth.com and Preps Today with John Millea. And again, we'll be talking to you again soon.